All right, we have a game here between Denalgi and Bjorn. Well, Bjorn is VOD Bokbok, and Denalgi is Vicious Kebab. But I know them by their Discord names usually. Okay. Tomb Kings and Vampire Coast, the Undead Brawl. For Bjorn, we do have two Bloated Corpses. They are not a good unit, but man, he's trying out there. Looks like we have two Animated Hulks, the Lamprey's Revenge ROR, Crab Mob thing, a Mortar, some Scurvy Dogs, the Bloody Reaver Depth Guard ROR, 3 Bomber Mobs, 5 Pistol Mobs. Okay. And Count Noctilus, of course. On the other side, for the Tomb Kings of Denalgi, we do have 4 Skeleton Archers, 2 Shopta Great Bows, 1 which is the ROR, 1 Nehekara Warrior, 1 Kepler Guard, Tomb Guard, a front line of Spears, triple Nehekara Horsemen, and 2 Screaming Skull Catapults. Alright, if the Bloated Corpses can get in on the Kepler Guard, that could be worth it. Otherwise, the Bloated Corpses cost more than any of these Skeleton Spearmen, so if they just throw themselves at a Skeleton Spearman, it's actually a bad trade for the Vampire Coast. But we'll see. For now, the Bloated Corpses are just being held super far back so they don't get shot by Ushapti and instantly blow up. Bomber Mobs taking a lot of damage from Scream Skull Catapults, and the Take Cover leadership debuff that the Catapults provide is getting them to crumble. That's a specific debuff that's attached to the ammunition. It's not the taking damage from artillery debuff. We already proved in a previous video that doesn't exist for the undead. Discouraged by ability, yeah. Pistol Mobs are now in range. They're firing onto the archers, who are also getting hit by mortar fire. They're also firing on the Chosen of Gods, Ushapti Great Bows, and these Skeleton Spearmen are going to want to waddle into melee combat as soon as possible to stop those pistols from firing over the tops of their heads. Noctilus throws out a Wraith Storm onto the Kepler Guard, Tomb Guard. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that Ark in the Black is here, but that shouldn't be really a surprise to anybody at this point. It does have Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna as his 2 normal spells. Noctilus is blitzing straight through the front line. He's probably going to throw down some summons on the backfield, really trying to stop those archers from firing. Meanwhile, Bomber Mobs are taking out the Spearmen with gusto. Fate of Buna is coming for the Bloody Reaver Depth Guard, but they can pop in Rage like he does. For 40% damage resistance will really nerf the effect of the Fate of Buna on that unit. They'll be just fine. Dogs are swooping into the backfield versus the archers. I think this Tomb Kings build is a little heavy on the ranged and a little light on anything to protect the range, as the dogs are now just going wild. Noctilus walked through the front line, etc., etc. Fate of Buna wears off, and the Bloody Reaver Depth Guard are left at about half HP. They are healed up by an Invocation and Hack, plus that damage resist abilities of theirs did really help them out. Skeleton Summons and Skeleton Spearmen trying to push through the front line, but Screaming Skull Catapults are doing a lot of work. But summons on top of them, plus dogs in the flank, means that their days are probably numbered. Animated Hulks even are chasing down the Chosen of the Gods, and Noctilus plus his dog friends plus his summons, really making life hard for the Tomb Kings. Things haven't been all roses for the coast, though. We do have a fading away Pistol Mob, it looks like. Another Bomber Mob's about to bite the dust. Two units are about to bite the dust to a Skeleton Warrior summon, so both sides really taking a lot of damage on their front line, though both of their front lines were honestly rather lackluster. Archers going, gone. Dogs do manage to flank onto the catapults. Nehekara Horsemen tried to catch them, but they only caught part of the dog unit. On the far side, they also caught a different dog unit. About even trades. Overall, the coast is up on damage value, and I would agree. Head on the balance of power. And that is a real Pistol Mob. It's not a summon. Shooting at Ark in the Black, he does need to move pretty soon. And another Wraith Storm from Noctilus. This one is aimed at the Chosen Gods of Shopta Great Bows. Really trying to take them out. Maybe, if all of the range is taken out, the Bloated Corpses can come up and finish off the Kepler Guard, who are full HP right now. Maybe that's a thing that could happen to them. We'll find out as dogs are mobbing in. But with a countercharge from Nehekara Horsemen, these dogs are actually very, very fucked. Yeah, I was gonna say not long for this world, but very, very not long for this world doesn't work. So whatever. They're fucked. They're all dead. They will try to run away, though I don't know what the Tomb Kings can do about the Lamprey's Revenge. They aren't even focusing them with their Ushapti Great Bows. Ushapti Great Bows instead going for the Bloody Reaver Depth Guard. And the Kepler Guard opting in to fight them. A quick enrage is popped to try and keep these guys alive, while a Pit of Shades is going to hit the Kepler Guard. It's a little off-center. You can see most of their models are outside of it, but it'll still do pretty good damage to them, especially if it's overcast, which it looks like it is, judging by the DPS at the moment. Nehekara Horseman trying to stop the Lamper's Revenge, but that is not going to work at all. And the Ushabti Great Bows are beset by crabs and Noctilus. They'll need to back off. Denalgi, if you're watching this, they probably should have been shooting the crabs because they don't have great sight lines onto the depth guard. And you have Fate Abuna that can deal with them okay. Still more Nehekara Horsemen powering in, taking out the dogs. The Ushabti Great Bows are kiting away, so good for them. The first of the Bloated Corpses is here. He's going to explode onto the Nehekara Warrior that was already almost dead. Still decent value for him. Good explosion. And the Kepler Guard are chasing the last of Bloody Reaver Depth Guard, but we have a Bloaty Boy coming straight before him. He's going to friendly fire some of his own lads, but it doesn't matter to him as he deletes the last of the Kepler Guard. Taking them down, the Bloated Corpses secure a pretty good balance of power lead for the coast. Pistol Mob gets attacked by Arkan and the Ushabti Great Bows in melee combat. Nehekara Warriors and Nehekara Horsemen are all starting to fade away, and Noctilus plus his full health Lampe's Revenge are going to be just fine. They are big chillin' at the moment. And unless we have some scary effective Ushabti Kite from Denalgi, this is looking like a bit of a GG as Noctilus throws out another summon just to really pin down the Nehekara Warriors, make sure they do not survive the encounter. More animated Hulks coming in from the distance. Spirit Leech onto Noctilus, but these Ushabti Great Bows getting chased by the crabs. Crabs are firing at them as they run, and one of them is even crumbling a little bit. I wonder if they can turn and fire and get some good damage on Lamper's Revenge, but doesn't look like they can. Looks like they're going to continue running. Another Wraithstorm targeting them out. It's doing a little bit of damage to the already wounded one. But yeah, especially if these guys are forced to just keep running, they can't turn and fire. Nothing can kill the Lamper's Revenge, nothing can kill Noctilus either. Late game Ushabti summon from the Tomb King's army passive, but Noctilus is beating the shit out of Arkan the Black. We are down to just one Ushabti Great Bow. Army losses is super close to happening. I think that is GG. The Bloaty Boys will do it all. Army losses will trigger as soon as that Ushabti summon fades. Calling it now, because the only thing on the map for the Tomb Kings are two summons. Two summons in Arkan. Another Spirit Leech onto Noctilus, but again, as soon as that Ushabti fades, Army losses is hitting, mark my words. There it is. There it is! I'm a genius! Arkan actually put pretty good hurt onto Noctilus, but it's just not going to be enough. Alright, took him an awful long time to start actually crumbling from army losses, but there he goes. GG. For Bjorn, Noctilus good value. So was the Lamper's Revenge. Bloody Reaver Depth Guard did well. They were kind of a damage sponge from Arkan and other stuff, and they survived through it all. They didn't get a lot of value, though. Mortars fired the whole game. Apparently 666 value on them. Would have thought more, honestly. Dogs mixed, but they were a good part of the army. Animated Hulks, not so good value, but again, they're a good part of the army. Bombers did fine. Bloated Corpses, bad value-wise, but they were a pretty good meme. And then the Pistol Mobs did overall well. Arkan did great. Ushabti Great Bows, mixed. The Chosen of the Gods did well, while the basic Ushabti did nothing. Kepler Guard, 63 value. Tough for them. They got Pit of Shades and then Bloated Corpse, so rip in peace. Catapults didn't get great value, but they did a lot of work. It's just like crumbling and that kind of stuff does more damage than they do, so they didn't get the value for what they did. Nehekara Horsemen were critical in trying to peel the back line. Archers, I like the idea. There just wasn't enough to defend them, unfortunately. So Tomb King's infantry all got murked. GG. Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.